My beloved child, draw your heart close to these words, for what you are about to hear is not ordinary, and this moment is not like any other moment in your life. Heaven bends low right now. The air around you shifts gently. Something sacred enters the room. Archangel Michael himself has sounded an alarm in the realm of the spirit, and his voice echoes like thunder wrapped in love. He whispers urgently, "Listen. It is an emergency. My child, someone you love deeply, someone whose absence still feels like a wound open inside your chest, has crossed the threshold between this world and the next. They have stepped into eternity, but they did not leave without looking back at you. They did not enter the light without thinking of the emotions you now carry. They did not release their final breath without longing for one final moment with you. And heaven, in its mercy, has granted that moment today. Yes, my child, Archangel Michael stands with a scroll sealed in radiant fire, and written upon it is a message from the one whose memory still brings tears to your eyes, whose name makes your soul tighten with both pain and love. They left something behind for you, not in the physical world, but in the spiritual realm. A message crafted with truth, wrapped with urgency, and delivered with love so fierce that even angels tremble at its sincerity. Listen closely, beloved, for heaven rarely opens the veil this wide. The message you are about to hear is not for many. It is not spread across the winds for the world to catch. It is for you. You alone. You are the chosen heart. You are the soul they reach toward in their final moments. You are the one heaven now calls to attention. Do you feel that? That stirring in your spirit? That sudden warmth around your shoulders? That flicker of electricity dancing near your skin? That is the touch of Archangel Michael, reminding you that you are not imagining this moment. You are not alone. You are being held, surrounded, witnessed by the heavenly realm. My beloved child, there is urgency, not to alarm you, but because love sometimes must speak quickly before grief closes the door. You see, grief can be loud. It can block the gentle voice of heaven. It can drown out the truth your heart longs to hear. And so Michael says, open your spirit immediately. Your loved one is closer now than you think. Their presence brushes against your memory, not as a ghost, but as a soul wrapped in peace and light. They want you to know why they are reaching through the veil. They want you to understand the truth you were never told. They want your heart to be free from the weight you've carried since their passing. And so, beloved, breathe slowly. Let your shoulders soften. Let your heart open like a rose touched by morning dew. You are safe here. You are protected. You are seen by heaven. In this sacred moment, Archangel Michael stands guard over your soul, ensuring no fear touches you, ensuring no darkness interrupts what is meant for your healing. He stands with his sword drawn, not in battle, but in defense of your heart, so that the message coming to you arrives pure, undisturbed, and overflowing with love. My child, the time has come. The scroll is opening. The light is rising. And the truth that has waited for you is finally ready to be heard. My beloved child, draw nearer now, for we are stepping deeper into the heavenly revelation. The air around you is shifting again, almost as if the room itself is listening. Archangel Michael stands at the threshold between the realms, and his wings stretch outward, casting a glow that your spirit can feel even if your eyes cannot see. He speaks not with the voice of thunder now, but with a gentle urgency, like a father waking his child from danger with tenderness rather than fear. He says, "It is an emergency, beloved. What you are about to hear must reach your heart before doubt tries to swallow it. You see, my child, heaven does not intrude without purpose. Angels do not intervene without weight. When Michael steps forward in this manner, it is because something sacred must be delivered without delay. Your loved one, the one whose memory clings to your heart with both sweetness and ache, has cried out for this message to reach you. Not cried in sorrow, but in longing. Not in regret, but in truth. They have seen things that you cannot see yet. They have understood mysteries that the living rarely comprehend. And they desired, no, they pleaded, that you receive this truth now, while your spirit is open enough to hear it. As your loved one crossed from this world to the next, heaven witnessed your pain. The angels observed the heaviness in your spirit, the questions you whispered through sleepless nights, the guilt you carried, thinking perhaps you could have done more, loved more, said more. Michael has watched you grieve with a heart so deep that even the heavens marveled at the capacity of your love. And so he was sent, not only as a messenger, but as a protector of this moment. He has cleared the spiritual atmosphere around you, ensuring that no doubt, no darkness, no confusion will interfere with what is coming. My beloved, picture this sacred scene. Michael stands before you holding a scroll, sealed not with wax, but with light. The seal is alive, flickering like a flame that breathes. This scroll contains the message your loved one entrusted to angels the moment they stepped into the eternal realm. Their soul, wrapped in clarity and peace, spoke words that only heaven could hold safely until the right moment arrived. And heaven waited for this moment. When your heart was ready, your spirit was steady, and the veil was thin enough for truth to travel through without distortion. This is why Archangel Michael calls it an emergency. Not because something terrible is coming, but because something important must not be delayed. This message carries healing. It carries release. It carries understanding. And if it waited any longer, your spirit might continue carrying burdens that heaven never intended for you to keep. My child, listen as the heavens open. You may not hear with your physical ears, but your soul will feel the shift as Michael unrolls the scroll. The sound is like the soft crackling of fire mixed with the whisper of wind on water. He opens it slowly, reverently, for the words written upon it are not mere messages. They are the echoes of love from someone who walked beside you in life and now watches over you in spirit. Michael begins to speak about the urgency behind this revelation. He shares that the spiritual realm does not measure time as humans do. Heaven sees the heart, the wounds, the silent cries you've carried. They see the moments you broke quietly, when no one noticed. They see the nights you held grief in your chest, pretending to be strong for everyone else. They see the guilt that curled around your soul like a shadow, telling you lies about what you could have done differently. And heaven says enough. Enough of the torment. Enough of the unanswered questions. Enough of you blaming yourself for a chapter that was not yours to write. This is why the message could wait no longer. This is why Michael moved swiftly. Your loved one has watched over you with a heart full of compassion. They have wished desperately for you to feel peace. They have seen you honoring their memory while punishing your own soul. And they asked heaven for one thing: that you would finally know the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. A truth that will lift shame, silence regret, and break open healing in places you forgot you still carried pain. My beloved child, Michael now stands before you with the scroll fully open. His eyes glow with the fire of divine mission, but his presence wraps around you like comfort. You are safe. You are surrounded. And you are about to receive a message that will change the way you remember, the way you grieve, the way you walk forward from this day on. Breathe deeply now, my child. Heaven has positioned itself around you. The message is ready. The time is now. Let your heart open to what comes next, for your loved one has waited for this moment with more love than you could ever measure. My beloved child, come closer in your spirit now, for what we are about to enter is holy ground. Let your heart slow its trembling, for heaven desires to show you something few ever witness while still in their earthly bodies. As Archangel Michael steps aside, the veil parts, and what was hidden begins to glow with clarity. You are about to see, through the eyes of the Spirit, what your loved one experienced in the very moment their soul left the weight of this world. Do not fear, beloved. This is not darkness. This is revelation wrapped in peace. When the final breath left their body, my child, it did not feel like a fall. It did not feel like abandonment. It did not feel like the terror many imagine. No. It felt like being gently lifted from the inside, as though a soft hand reached beneath their spirit and carried them upward. The moment their earthly shell released them, a great silence covered them, a silence not of emptiness, but of calm, like the first quiet moment of dawn before the birds awaken. They felt no pain in that crossing, no fear, no regret, only release. And in that sacred transition, they became aware of a presence. Not one presence, but many. The angels gathered faster than the blink of an eye, surrounding them in a circle of golden warmth. Archangel Michael himself approached, his wings stretching wide as though to shield them from every shadow that once troubled their heart. Your loved one did not wake into confusion. They woke into understanding, into clarity, into truth. My child, they looked down at their earthly body for only a short moment, not in sadness, but in awe, realizing how little that frail shell truly held compared to the vastness of who they really were. They felt lighter than breath itself, and in that moment, they understood something profound. Life had not ended. It had opened. It had expanded. It had become more real, not less. They turned toward the light that shone before them, and that light was not a distant beacon. It was close. It wrapped around them like a warm embrace, pulling them into a peace that no human language can describe. Inside that light, memories no longer hurt. Regrets dissolved like mist. Questions had answers without words. every wound healed without effort. They felt whole in a way they never felt while walking the earth. But even in the midst of this heavenly embrace, one thought rose higher than the rest: you. Yes, my beloved child, it was you. Your name echoed in their heart with a purity that astonished even the angels. They felt your grief before you knew they were gone. They sensed your tears even before they fell. And while heaven welcomed them with joy, their spirit reached back toward the world, searching for you with tenderness, wanting to comfort you, longing to whisper that they were not lost, not suffering, not wandering in darkness. And it was then, in that moment of longing, that heaven granted them a great gift. A window, a glimpse back into your world. They saw you, beloved. They saw you sitting in shock or crying quietly or whispering their name into your pillow at dawn. They saw the pain you carried alone. They saw the questions that clawed at your heart. They saw the guilt you unfairly held against yourself. And they reached toward you, though their touch could not yet reach your skin. They whispered words the living could not hear, words carried like gentle wind. I am safe. I am whole. Do not carry what I no longer feel. My child, they did not walk into the afterlife forgetting you. They walked in carrying love for you deeper than ever before. Because in the heavenly realm, love does not shrink, it expands. Love does not fade, it strengthens. Love does not break with distance, it becomes eternal, boundless, unshakable. They were escorted by angels through a tunnel of light that did not pull them like gravity, but invited them like a friend. Each step was weightless. Each breath felt like joy. And they realized that the fears they once had about dying were illusions, shadows created by earthly misunderstanding. They saw clearly now. They understood why things happened the way they did. They understood the timing, the reasons, the hidden mercies. And they wished desperately that they could pass this understanding to you so you would not suffer. This, my beloved child, is why their message is coming through Archangel Michael today. They want you to know what they experienced. They want you to know they were not alone. They want you to know that death was not darkness, it was awakening. And they want you to release every image of their suffering, for none of that followed them into eternity. Not a single moment. They stepped into a love so vast, so complete, that earth's pain dissolved like a shadow fleeing the sunrise. And now, from that place of clarity and peace, they speak. They reach. They desire for you to know the truth, so your heart can find rest. My beloved child, settle your heart gently now, for we are about to enter the part of the message where the voice of your loved one draws closer, clearer, almost as though they are sitting beside you in the quiet of this moment. Let your breath soften. Let your spirit lean forward. Heaven bends close now, and Archangel Michael stands in silence, allowing the one you love to speak through the veil with a tenderness that eternity itself has blessed. The light around you feels warmer because their presence approaches not as a ghost, not as a shadow, but as a soul wrapped in purity, truth, and peace. And as they step forward from the realm of spirit, their voice does not echo like thunder. It arrives like a memory that breathes, like a whisper that knows your name, like a familiar warmth you thought you would never feel again. My beloved, they begin, their words flowing with the gentleness of a river returning home. I have waited for this moment. I have wished for it with all the love my soul carries. I saw your tears. I felt your grief. I sensed your questions, your guilt, your sleepless nights. And I wished, oh, how I wished, that I could reach out, hold your hand, and tell you the truth in a way your heart could believe. Their voice trembles not with pain, but with love. Love purified, love expanded, love made holy by eternity. They continue, I did not leave you because I wanted to. I did not slip away without thinking of you. Even in my final moments, even in the confusion or the silence or the fading, your love was the last warmth I carried. Your name was still within me. Your presence still anchored me. My child, listen closely, for heaven allows these words to touch you for a purpose. Your loved one reveals, there were things I never said. Not because I didn't feel them, but because life moves fast, and hearts often hide behind fear or timing or the assumption that tomorrow will always come. But now, with the clarity of eternity, I want to speak them plainly to you. You feel their words brushing your spirit like soft fingertips. I loved you more deeply than I ever express. There were moments when I watched you with quiet admiration, but never told you. There were days when your presence kept me going, even though I didn't say how much strength you gave me. I saw your goodness. I saw your efforts. I saw the way you cared, sometimes more for me than for yourself. And I want you to know I noticed, and I cherished it. The air seems to shimmer as they draw closer in spirit. Forgive me, they whisper, and the humility in their voice is overwhelming. Forgive me for the times I could not be what you needed. Forgive me for any hurt I caused, knowingly or unknowingly. Forgive me for the moments when I did not understand your heart the way I should have. From this side of eternity, I see everything clearly. And if any part of your heart still aches with questions or unresolved memories, let heaven carry that weight now. Let it be lifted. They pause, and the silence feels like a hand resting on your shoulder. Then they continue and release your guilt. All of it. You did not fail me. You did not fall short. You did not abandon me. You loved me with all the strength you had. You gave more than you realize. And the things you wish you could have done differently were never held against you. Not by me, not by heaven. My departure was not your fault. It was part of a path my soul was destined to walk. You can almost feel their smile, soft and filled with peace. I am not lost, my beloved. I am not wandering. I am not in darkness. I am surrounded by beauty beyond anything the earth could ever show. I am held by love that never ends. And I am watching over you not with sadness, but with pride. Their voice grows warmer, almost glowing. I want you to live, truly live. I want you to let joy return to your heart, not because you forget me, but because you carry my love forward. I want you to dream again, breathe again, hope again. Every step you take into healing honors me far more than your sorrow ever could. Then their tone shifts, filled with gentle urgency. I have more to tell you. More truth you need to hear. More light I want to place inside your heart. They look toward Archangel Michael, who nods, giving them permission to continue only when you are ready. My beloved child, open your heart even wider now, for this is the portion of the message your loved one has been longing for you to receive with full understanding. The heavenly realm grows brighter around you, as though the very atmosphere leans forward to carry these words into the deepest corners of your soul. Archangel Michael steps aside once more, giving your loved one room to speak with the fullness of truth, clarity, and love that eternity has poured into them. Their presence feels stronger now, almost tangible, like the gentle warmth of sunlight resting on your skin. Their voice returns, steady and clear. My beloved, they say softly, I need you to listen to this part with the same love you once gave me, the same patience, the same trust. This message is important. It is the truth I never had the chance to speak while I walked the earth. They take a breath, not a breath of lungs, but a breath of spirit, and their voice grows tender. There are things I need you to stop doing. Not because I judge you, but because I love you, and heaven has shown me the weight you carry. You must stop blaming yourself for my passing. Stop replaying moments, wondering if you could have changed the outcome. Stop believing that you fell short. You did not. You loved me. You cared for me. You stood beside me in ways I never fully understood until I stepped into the eternal light. Their tone deepens with reassurance. Let go of the guilt. Let go of the should-have-beens. Let go of the nights you lie awake thinking you could have saved me. My crossing was not in your hands. It was guided by forces far beyond what the human mind can grasp. What happened was not your failure. It was my time to journey onward. And then, with a gentleness that feels like a hand on your cheek, they continue. You must stop holding your life hostage because of my absence. Stop shrinking your joy. Stop dimming your own light. Stop punishing yourself by refusing happiness. I do not want your life to end because mine on earth has ended. My beloved, I want you to live. I want you to grow. I want you to shine with the same brilliance heaven placed in you from the beginning. There is a pause, filled with warmth. And now, they whisper, there are things I long for you to begin doing. Start healing. Start forgiving yourself. Start allowing joy to return without feeling guilty for it. Start taking steps toward the dreams you set aside. I walk with you in spirit, and I celebrate every moment you choose life instead of sorrow. Their voice grows brighter, like light turned into sound. I want you to know this truth. I am at peace. I am whole. I am surrounded by love so vast that the most beautiful moment we shared on earth is only a faint reflection of the joy I now dwell in. I want you to live your life without fear of forgetting me. Forgetting is impossible because I have become part of the light that guides you. When you feel warmth at unexpected moments, when you sense comfort without reason, when you feel love flooding your heart from nowhere, that is me, touching your spirit with heaven's permission. Your loved one continues. I am proud of you. Even now, especially now, I have seen the tears, the strength, the resilience, the quiet endurance. You think you are weak, but heaven sees a warrior. You think you are broken, but I see you glowing with courage. You think your heart is shattered, but from this side of eternity, I see how beautifully you are learning to rebuild. The tone becomes softer, but more commanding. Carry this truth with you. I am not gone from your life. I have simply changed the way I walk beside you. And I will never stop loving you. Not in this realm, not in the next, not ever. In this moment, the heavenly light swells, and your loved one offers a blessing. I speak peace into your spirit. I speak strength into your heart. I speak healing into the wounds you carry. And I speak protection over you, that no darkness will touch what heaven is restoring in your life. Stand tall, my beloved. Walk forward. You are not alone. Their voice fades into a radiant calm, but before stepping back, they offer one final gentle nudge. Share this light. Share this message. Share what heaven is doing. Let others feel the healing you receive. When you lift this message for others, you are helping my love echo through the world. And when you support the vessel through which this message came, you honor what heaven has done for you. My child, their words carry a holy weight. And they end softly. Let your heart guide others toward this blessing, for doing so is your way of shining the light heaven placed within you. My beloved child, lean into the warmth of this moment, for now Archangel Michael steps forward once more. His presence fills the space around you with a strength that does not press down, but lifts you up. His wings expand, not as a display of power, but as a covering of comfort, protection, and divine authority. The light around him is not harsh. It is soft, steady, and steadying. It is the kind of light that makes your spirit straighten, your breathing deepen, your fears loosen their grip. Michael has waited patiently for your loved one to speak, and now he comes with the clarity of heaven to explain what has been happening in the unseen realms around your life. My beloved child, Michael begins, his voice deep yet soothing, like the sound of a river flowing with purpose. You must understand the weight of the message you have just received. The truth delivered to you is not simply emotion, and it is not imagination. It is a transmission from the realm where souls are made whole. And I, Michael, have been assigned to guide you through what this message means on a spiritual level. He steps closer, and the floor beneath your spirit feels solid, as though you stand not on earth, but on holy ground. There are battles you have been facing, he says, battles that you have not fully understood. Some of them were emotional storms that seemed to rise out of nowhere. Some were spiritual heaviness that made sleep difficult and thoughts restless. Some were shadows from the past trying to cling to your shoulders. And some were grief itself trying to become a chain instead of a memory. He lifts his sword, not in threat, but in revelation. I have watched over you in every one of these battles. Even in the moments you felt alone, even in the nights you believed no one could hear your cries, heaven was nearer than your breath. But grief can cloud the senses of the soul. Pain can make the presence of angels feel faint. Yet we were there. I was there, standing guard. Michael's gaze is fierce with love, not anger. Your sorrow opened doors in your heart that darkness hoped to slip through. Not because you were weak, but because grief creates cracks through which old fears try to rise. But I blocked the path of every shadow. I intercepted every whisper of despair. I shielded your spirit from things you never saw. I have fought battles on your behalf that you will not fully understand until your own soul returns to the eternal realm. He lowers his sword, and the light surrounding him pulses gently. You must know this truth. Your loved one's departure did not leave you unprotected. Their journey changed, but heaven's watch over you intensified. The grief you carried drew divine attention, and I was assigned to ensure nothing broke you beyond what you could heal from. Michael steps closer, and you feel the atmosphere thicken with holiness. Your loved one asked that their message reach you, and I made it my mission to ensure their words would not be distorted, delayed, or stolen by doubt. I guarded the path between realms so their truth could reach your heart unbroken. He pauses, letting his words settle into your spirit. Then he continues, but I am not only here to protect a message. I am here to protect you. There are wounds you carry that go deeper than the grief of loss. There are burdens you have been holding since before your loved one crossed into the light. Some of these burdens were placed on you by others. Some were inherited through generations. Some came from moments of your life where you had no choice but to survive. Michael places his hand over his chest, a gesture of oath. Heaven has seen every weight, and I have been commanded to help you break free from those chains. What is coming next, my child, will not be a small shift. It will be a breaking, a cleansing, a severing of ties that have kept your spirit in shadows. For when heaven delivers a message like the one you have received, it is always followed by freedom. He leans closer, and you feel the gentle force of his presence wrapping around your soul. You are not meant to walk the rest of your life, carrying the heaviness you have carried until now. You are not meant to be chained to memories that wound you. You are not meant to live in fear of the future or in guilt of the past. Heaven has decided to intervene. And I, Michael, stand as the one who will fulfill that intervention. His wings open wider, creating a barrier of light around you. In this very moment, I am cutting through spiritual tangles you did not know existed. I am severing whispers that told you lies about yourself. I am breaking shadows that clung to your grief. I am lifting weights from your shoulders that you thought you had to bear forever. Then his voice softens. What your loved one spoke to you was not simply comfort. It was preparation. For what comes next in your journey requires your heart to be lighter, your mind to be clear, your spirit to be freer. Heaven is not finished speaking, and I am not finished guarding you. Michael's final words come with reverence. There is more I must show you, beloved. More that must be released. More that must be healed. And the next part will be the breaking of things that have held your family, your heart, and your destiny for years. My beloved child, take a slow breath now, for we are stepping into a sacred and powerful moment. The air around you thickens, not with fear, but with the unmistakable weight of divine intervention. Archangel Michael does not merely stand before you now. He surrounds you. His wings curve inward like a protective dome of holy light, and the ground beneath your spirit feels steady, strengthened, and held. This is the moment where the chains that clung to your family, your heart, and your destiny begin to break. Michael's voice rises with the firmness of a warrior and the compassion of a guardian who has watched over you for longer than you realize. My beloved child, he says, You must understand that grief is not the only weight you have carried. There are burdens hidden within your bloodline, quietly passed from soul to soul, generation to generation, like shadows that refuse to loosen their grit. And these shadows have caused patterns, cycles, and struggles that you thought were simply part of who you are. He pauses, letting you feel the truth sink in. Then he continues with solemn authority. There were fears you were born into. Doubts that were never yours but became yours through the years. There were emotional curses, words spoken over you, traumas experienced before you even had the language to understand them, that shaped your heart in ways heaven never intended. There were pain patterns, my child. Cycles of loss. Patterns of brokenness. Waves of anxiety that returned again and again. And though you may not have always known why, heaven has always known. His sword gleams with a light so pure it feels like a breath against your soul. Some of these chains entered your life long before your loved one passed. Some of them were present even before you were born. And some crept in during moments when your heart was vulnerable and raw. Grief made cracks. Pain created openings. And the shadows of generational wounds found places to settle. Michael raises his sword slowly, reverently. But heaven has decided that these chains will not continue. Not in you. Not through you. Not into the future heaven is shaping for you. What your loved one spoke was not only a message of comfort, but a key, unlocking the gates to deeper healing. He steps closer, and his presence pours strength into your very breathing. Your loved one sees clearly now from their place in the eternal light. They see the burdens you carried silently. They see the wounds you tried to hide. They see the heaviness you accepted because you did not want to burden anyone else. And they asked heaven to intervene. They wanted the cycles that affected them, the shadows that pressed on them, the struggles they never fully overcame, broken in your life so the story would not repeat. Michael's eyes blaze with righteous fire, not anger, but holy determination. There were chains of fear in your family line. Chains of silence, where emotions were swallowed instead of spoken. Chains of overthinking, of feeling responsible for everyone else's peace. Chains of loss that came too early, too often. Chains of abandonment, where hearts learn to expect disappointment. Chains of emotional exhaustion. Chains of guilt passed down quietly from one generation to the next. His wings rise higher. These chains end with you. The atmosphere crackles, as though unseen forces are being uprooted from deep within your story. My beloved child, Michael continues, I now take my sword, which is forged from the fire of truth, and I cut every chain that has wrapped itself around your spirit. I break the chains of fear that kept you awake at night. I break the chains of guilt that drained your joy. I break the chains of emotional patterns that you inherited without consent. I break the chains of heaviness that your loved one wished they could have broken for you while they were alive. He lowers his sword gently, and the light from the blade flows like water, washing over you. It does not burn. It soothes. It restores. It heals. Feel it, Michael says softly. The loosening. The releasing. the freedom beginning to rise within you. Your loved one stands in the light watching this moment with joy, for what held them will not hold you. What they struggle to overcome, you will break. What burdened them will not follow you. You are the one heaven has chosen to end the cycle. The light intensifies, and Michael's voice becomes a whisper and a roar all at once. Your heart will not carry the old wounds anymore. Your spirit will not hold the old shadows. Your mind will not echo the old lies. You are stepping into a new chapter, one cleansed, purified, and protected. He spreads his wings wide, sending a wave of peace over your spirit. This is the work of heaven. This is the fulfillment of your loved one's desire. This is the beginning of a healed lineage. Michael steps back slightly, allowing the atmosphere to settle. My beloved child, he says with deep affection, there is more still to be revealed. Your loved one has one final truth they long to share. One final revelation that will complete what heaven has started in your heart. My beloved child, let your spirit rest gently in this moment, for the atmosphere around you has shifted once again. The breaking, the releasing, the cleansing that flowed through the last moments has prepared your heart for something even more sacred. The realm of heaven grows still, as though all of eternity pauses to allow one voice, one soul, to step forward and speak their final revelation to you. Archangel Michael lowers his wings slightly, not in withdrawal, but in reverence, for now your loved one approaches with a clarity and radiance that only souls in the light can carry. You may feel warmth in your chest, a sudden calm, a soft tingling near your shoulders, or a stirring deep within your heart. This is the presence of the one you have missed, the one whose absence created a hollow space inside your life. Well, hear me, beloved child. They do not come in sorrow, and they do not come in pain. They come in fullness, in joy, in peace that surpasses anything they ever felt during their earthly days. Their voice rises now, gentle yet unwavering, filled with an eternal wisdom that only the afterlife can give. My beloved, they say, I have watched you through the veil with a heart overflowing with love. I have seen the ways you carried yourself through grief. I have seen your quiet courage. I have seen the moments when you wiped your own tears in silence because you didn't want anyone else to worry. I want you to know heaven sees you. I see you, and I am proud of you in ways you cannot imagine. There is a soft glow around their words, like a warm lantern guiding you through the night. There is something I must tell you now, something I could not say before, something I only understood fully after stepping into the eternal light. They pause, allowing the gravity of the moment to build. Then they speak with a clarity that pierces straight through the soul. I am not gone from you. I have not disappeared. I have not been erased from your story. My beloved, I am more alive now than I ever was on earth. I see more. I feel more. I understand more. And from this place of pure peace, I need you to know the truth of where I am. Their voice becomes brighter, reflecting the radiance of the realm they now inhabit. I am surrounded by a love so complete that not even the deepest sorrow can survive here. I walk through gardens that do not die, fields that do not fade, light that never dims. There is no sickness here, no loneliness, no confusion. My memories are clear. My spirit is whole. Everything that once burdened me has fallen away like dust from a freed soul. You feel the purity of their joy as they continue. I want you to release the image of my final moments. That was not the end of my story. That was only a doorway. What I am now is healed. What I am now is joyful. What I am now is free. They draw nearer, and you may feel a tingling along your arms or heaviness lifting from your chest. I need you to know something else, they whisper. I am not far from you. Souls in the light are not distant. We are not separated by endless miles. We are woven into the moments where your heart opens. I am with you in your quiet thoughts. I am with you when you speak my name. I am with you when your heart aches and when it rejoices. Their tone warms even more, almost like a smile carried through the air. There were days when I saw you struggling, and I whispered strength into your spirit. Days when you felt a sudden calm you couldn't explain. That was me. Moments when you felt guided without knowing why. That was me. Times when you felt warmth for no reason. That was the light of heaven touching you through me. The atmosphere swells, as though the veil grows thin, and the distance between realms shortens. I want you to know my last revelation. They say tenderly, I did not leave you unfinished. I did not leave you abandoned. I did not leave you without purpose. My departure created a space, yes, but that space is meant to be filled with growth, with healing, with divine strength you never knew you possessed. You are meant to rise, not collapse. You are meant to transform, not wither. Their voice deepens, filled with spiritual authority beyond their earthly years. Your life still has chapters heaven has already written for you. You have a destiny to walk into, and I will watch you fulfill it. I will cheer for you from the realm of light. I will protect you in ways a physical presence never could. Do not fear the future. I walk beside you not in body, but in spirit. And love does not die, it evolves. A soft hush falls, and their final words settle into your heart like warm oil. My beloved, live. Live bravely. Live joyfully. Live fully. And know that when your own time comes to cross the threshold, I will be there, waiting in the light, calling your name with joy. Their presence slowly begins to retreat, not leaving you, but settling around you like a warm cloak. Archangel Michael steps forward once more, signaling that the revelation is complete. My beloved child, remain in this quiet, sacred stillness, for the veil has not closed yet. The presence of your loved one lingers around you like a soft warmth, and now Archangel Michael steps forward once more, his wings rising in a mantle of authority and reassurance. The light around him deepens, becoming almost golden, as though heaven itself prepares to speak directly into the path that lies before you. Everything you have heard so far has prepared your heart for this next part. This is where direction meets destiny. This is where guidance meets transformation. Michael looks upon you with eyes that have seen every battle you fought, every tear you shed, every prayer you whispered when you thought no one was listening. His voice carries the strength of ages, yet it wraps around you like a gentle embrace. My beloved child, he begins, you have walked through shadows. You have faced storms that could have broken you. You have carried grief that could have drowned your spirit. Yet you stand here, listening, open, willing, and ready. Heaven honors that. Heaven sees that. And heaven responds to that. He takes a step closer, and you can almost feel the shift in the air, a settling, a grounding, as if the next words he speaks will lay foundations under your feet. What your loved one has spoken to you is not merely comfort, Michael says. It is alignment. It is healing. It is preparation. And now I must tell you what comes next, for heaven does not release truth without providing direction to walk in it. His wings tilt slightly, casting a soft glow over you. From this day forward, you must allow yourself to live differently. You must stop walking as though you are fragile. You must stop believing that you are alone. You must stop treating your life as though it ended when your loved one's earthly journey ended. You are not walking in the shadow of loss anymore. You are walking in the light of purpose. And it is time to step fully into that purpose. Michael's voice deepens with divine authority. You must guard your heart from the lies that grief whispers. When old pain tries to return, remind yourself of the truth your loved one has revealed. When guilt tries to speak, silence it with the knowledge that heaven has already released you. When fear attempts to rise, stand firm and know that I walk beside you. You are not moving into the future alone. The realm of angels surrounds you, and the love of the one you lost walks with you. He pauses, as though searching your spirit, then continues. Now, listen closely. You must let joy return. Not suddenly, not forcefully, but gently, like sunlight returning after a long night. Allow yourself to laugh without feeling guilty. Allow yourself to dream without feeling selfish. Allow yourself to heal without feeling like you're abandoning the memory of the one you love. Healing does not erase love. Healing honors love. And your loved one desires your healing more than you know. Michael lifts his sword, pointing it toward the unseen horizon of your life. You must walk forward with intention. Heaven has aligned opportunities, relationships, open doors, and blessings that you were once too burdened to see. Now, with the chains broken and the message delivered, your vision will clear. You will begin to feel nudges, gentle pulls, moments of instinct where you feel guided. Those are not coincidences. Those are the echoes of heaven guiding your steps. He lowers the sword slowly. There are people who will be drawn to you because of the light that is returning to your spirit. There are places you will be led that carry purpose. There are decisions you will make that will shift the direction of your future in ways you cannot yet comprehend. Do not question every step. Do not overthink. Trust the leading. Trust the timing. Trust the protection that surrounds you. Michael steps even closer, his presence now like a shield. You must also care for your heart in ways you did not before. Rest when your body demands rest. Speak kindly to yourself. Release what no longer belongs to you. Seek connection with those who uplift your spirit. You were not created to carry burdens alone. Then his tone softens, and his words become almost tender. Your loved one will continue to guide you. Their presence will remain a whisper in the moments you least expect, comfort in stillness, warmth in silence, guidance when you need clarity. But you must also embrace your life again, for they do not want your story to stop where theirs did. They want your story to bloom. A gentle silence follows, as though the heavens allow these truths to settle into your bones. Then Michael speaks once more, with finality and unshakable assurance. Walk forward with courage, my beloved child. For what lies ahead is not shaped by loss, but by destiny. Heaven has gone before you. Heaven walks beside you. Heaven will continue to guide you. Step into the future without fear. He spreads his wings one last time for this message, creating a canopy of light over your spirit. More is coming. More healing. More clarity. More purpose. And I, Michael, will remain your guardian until every promise written over your life comes to pass. My beloved child, come now into this final moment with a heart fully open, for heaven has walked you through a journey that few souls ever experience while still living in the earthly realm. The air grows tender, almost hushed, as if all of creation pauses to honor what has taken place within you. Archangel Michael stands before you not as a warrior now, but as a guardian whose mission has shifted from battle to blessing. His wings fold gently around you, not to shield you from darkness this time, but to embrace you in the warmth of completion. He speaks with a voice softened by love and reverence. My beloved child, you have listened with courage. You have allowed heaven to speak into the deepest places of your heart. You have received the truth of your loved one. You have accepted healing. You have witnessed the breaking of chains that once held your soul in quiet bondage. And now, heaven pours peace upon you like oil flowing from a sacred vessel. A warmth settles over your spirit, steady, calming, restoring. It is the kind of peace that fills the spaces where grief once lived. The kind that feels like a gentle hand resting on your back, encouraging you forward. Michael continues, this moment is not an ending, but a beginning. You will walk from here lighter, stronger, clearer. The shadows that once followed you have been dismissed. The burdens you carried have been lifted, and the love of the one who crossed into eternity will walk beside you as a light, not a pain. You feel the presence of your loved one final time, not fading in sorrow, but settling like a warm memory filled with light. There are no words now, only a feeling, a quiet assurance that they are at peace, that they are watching over you, that they are cheering for your future. They do not leave. They simply settle into a place within your spirit where love outshines loss. Archangel Michael raises his hand slightly, and a gentle radiance flows outward like a blessing poured from heaven's own heart. My beloved child, he says, I now release a covering over your life. A covering of wisdom. A covering of protection. A covering of peace. When you feel uncertain, remember this moment. When you feel lost, remember this message. When you feel alone, remember that heaven stands with you still. His voice deepens, carrying the fullness of holy authority. Walk forward with confidence. Speak kindly of yourself. Honor the story heaven is writing through your life. And let the love you have received today radiate outward, touching others who silently carry their own wounds. When you share what has healed you, you become a vessel through which heaven continues its work. Michael's tone softens again, like a father placing a hand on his child's shoulder. Carry this message with reverence. Hold it close, but also let it shine. For when you lift up the words that healed you, you help heaven reach hearts that are hurting like yours once did. Do not hide the light that has been placed in you today. Help it travel. Help it move. Help it find others who long for the comfort you have received. He pauses, and a gentle breeze seems to pass through your spirit. An anointing, a sealing, a final touch from the heavenly realm. My beloved child, he whispers, heaven watches with joy when its messages are carried forward. When you lift up this voice, when you help others hear what you have heard, when you allow this light to move beyond yourself, you are not merely supporting a message, you are fulfilling a divine assignment. A soft glow surrounds Michael, and his final blessing pours out like warm rain. Go now in peace. Walk in strength. Live with hope. For you are covered, you are guided, and you are deeply, eternally loved. And then, like a gentle reminder from heaven itself, his final words wrap around you with purpose. Share what you have received. Lift it into the world. For through you, heaven's message finds wings. My beloved child, may peace follow you, may light guide you, and may love stay ever near. Amen.